Life is not designed where you just wake up and see how it go and you react. You actually have a say-so. You have a determining voice into where your life can go. You have no say-so in what happens to you, but you have a say-so in what you do about it. See, life is 10% what happens to you. It's 90% what you do about it. You ain't got to be washed white as snow, because I didn't get that. I didn't get saved like that. I got washed, but I just got rinsed off. I did not get the wash white as snow version. I still got dirt on me. But show me something that has grown into something beautiful that didn't have no dirt on it. You take a seed and throw it on the concrete. Don't put no dirt on it and watch what happens. See, you get tripped out because you got dirt on you. But you need dirt on you to develop. Because dirt ain't just dirt. Dirt is fertilizer. Dirt is nutrients. Dirt gives you the strength for your seed to push through. See, you got to have dirt on you to push through something. Everything you see that's beautiful starts out as a seed, but that seed got to get dirt on it. See, you get mad when haters come your way. You get mad because you get a setback. You get mad because you get thrown off course. You get mad because you get a detour. That's just dirt. You get mad because they talking about you. That's dirt. You get mad because you lost your mama. That's dirt. You got to have dirt on you to grow into what God got for you. Quit tripping. And the reason I'm telling it to you, because when I was homeless, I told God, I say, if you let me make it, when I get there, I'm going to tell everybody about you. So now here I am right now. I'm telling you that it was him. It was not my education. It wasn't who I knew. It wasn't no deal I struck. It was cause of prayer. Because, man, I just kept praying. When it looked like I wasn't going to be nothing, I kept praying. I kept asking that God that my mama had told me about, if he could just do what he said he was going to do. You said if I have not because I ask not, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to just keep asking. And when it look like it ain't coming, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait on it anyway. When they told me you'll never be nothing, I didn't listen to them. I'm going to sit here until you get here. And guess what? He got here. See, God, he know what he's doing. You just got to get to ask. You have not because you ask.
I was sitting in an airplane on a flight from Texas to California, and looking out the window at the mountains and the desert far below, I was thinking to myself how, until quite recently, in the span of human history, nobody had ever seen anything like this. None of the kings and queens, none of the warriors, none of the wizards. Nobody had ever been able to fly 40,000 feet in the air and look down on the mountains. How powerful we've suddenly become. Today, all we have to do is buy an airline ticket, and we can do something that no one back then ever dreamed would be possible. For a moment or two, all this gave me a real feeling of power. It felt really good looking down on everything. But then I thought, wait a minute, can I stop the plane or turn it around? Can I take a walk outside and then come back to my seat? I can't even take a walk around the plane unless the little light tells me it's okay. I can't even feed myself in here. In all my adult life, I've never been less powerful than I am at this very moment. I'm completely helpless. It's that way with wisdom, too. When you think you really know something, stop for a second and see if the opposite isn't really true also. Do you think you're rich? Compared to whom? Maybe you're really poor. Do you think you're poor? Compared to whom? Maybe you're really rich.
Of all the parts of our life we want to work well, perhaps the most important is lifestyle. Mr. Schoff gave me one of his strongest concepts when he said, Don't just learn how to earn, learn how to live. And that's what lifestyle is all about. Learning how to live. Here's one of the great challenges of life. Being happy with what you have while in pursuit of what you want. Now consider this. Some people have plenty of beautiful things filling their days, but they get little happiness from them. Some people have money, but they have trouble finding joy in their lives.
Picture a crowded subway car in New York City. Quite an experience, but not something I would recommend to the faint of heart. Hundreds of complete strangers jammed into a space designed for a third their number. All of them packed tighter than sardines in a little tiny can. Now suppose you're in that situation, and you've been on your feet all day, and you'd really like to sit down. But there are no seats left in the subway car, and you're standing there hanging from that metal bar that hangs from the ceiling. Do you suppose you could come up with something that would convince somebody to give you their seat? That's a pretty good test of wisdom, in my opinion. You'd have to be pretty wise to come up with something like that in a crowded New York subway car. Frankly, I don't think King Solomon could have done it. I don't think Socrates could have done it. I don't even believe that Einstein could have done it. But then it happens. Somebody convinces not just one person, but several people to offer their seat. People are actually competing to give up their precious seats in that crowded New York subway car. Who is this somebody? A pregnant woman. A very pregnant woman, in fact. People are scrambling to give her their seats. But you see, it wasn't really the woman who convinced them to do it. It was the baby inside. It was a tiny creature who couldn't even talk or even imagine the very idea of talking, who convinced these tough New Yorkers to stand up. Einstein couldn't have done that. Excuse me, my name is Albert Einstein. Perhaps you've heard of me. Do you think I could have your seat here in the subway? Never heard of you, Einstein, but get lost anyway. But I'm very wise. Yeah, well, you're wising off to the wrong guy. So am I saying an unborn baby is wiser than Albert Einstein? Maybe you should decide. But that baby certainly solved the problem. Here's a phrase that I'm pretty sure contains some important wisdom. If you've reached the point in life where you feel you've got all the answers, you better start asking some different questions. The fool is always reaching his intellectual destination. The wise man is always wondering how much further there is to go. The fool's viewpoint is always narrowing. He talks more and more, but he listens less and less all the time. He starts saying the same things, and that's because he's always thinking the same thoughts. If he's a powerful fool, people are eager to help him along in this, particularly if they're dependent upon him for their living. But they're laughing at him behind his back, and they're watching and waiting too for the moment when he finally becomes a vulnerable.
Life in style is also life in balance. Make sure you pay attention to all the values and dimensions of your life. One is family. If you have someone you care about, there is no value to match that. One person caring for another is life in the best of style and value. Protect it with a vengeance. If a chair gets in the way, I suggest you destroy the chair. It was wisely said so long ago, but is still true for today. There are many treasures, but the greatest of these is love. Better to live in a tent on the beach and have a love affair than to live in a mansion by yourself. Ask me. I know. Family must be cultivated like an enterprise, like a garden. Time and effort and imagination, creativity and genius must be summoned constantly to keep it flourishing and growing. Next is friendship. A priceless value, friendship. Friends are those incredible people who know all about you and still like you. Friends are those people who are coming in when everyone else is leaving. And, as someone once suggested, be sure to make the kind of friends on your way up who will take you in on your way down. Life is a bit of both up and down, but with true friends, friends who care regardless of your circumstances, the ups are more automatic and the downs less devastating.
Let me give you just a few tips on time management essentials. First of all, you run the day or it runs you. A little simple analysis. It's not that difficult to get something started, and you run it for a while, and after a while it starts running you. That's part of the challenge. I told my staff one day, giving birth to a tiger is one thing, learning how to ride it is something else, right? Sometimes you start it, and then it turns around and starts giving you all kinds of trouble. Next, the time you've already committed to labor is enough time. If you're working already 8-10 hours a day, that's about it. You just can't work much more than that. Bursts at a time, you can work 12, 14, 16, right? And I'm sure we've all learned to do that, put in the extra time. But after a while, you pretty well have to put your life in balance, or your health is in jeopardy, and your heart's in jeopardy, your blood pressure is in jeopardy, a lot of things, if you don't stay in balance. So you don't have to put in any more hours, probably. All you have to do is just make better use of the hours. A cliche we've all heard. It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours that counts. Now also you need a written set of goals, time management essential, priorities, good plan for the next 10 years especially, some of the things you want to accomplish. Let our dreams pull us through, our objectives sustain us, get us up early, keep us up late, all right, drive us to do the disciplines, read the books, take the classes, study, whatever is necessary, and a constant review of your goals, because that's how you determine how to use your time, whatever priorities you're going for. Then you need a plan to achieve your goals, and game plans, laying out 6 months, laying out a year. When you do business internationally, several corporations, we just formed our first Australian corporation. You just got to have game plans to lay all this stuff out. Otherwise, it just doesn't get done. Things get missed. Taxes don't get paid. The details don't get taken care of. You've got to learn to think on paper. And if there's one thing under time management we can get across that's major, that one is it.
There is a difference between passion and obsession. Here's how you know the difference between the two. When you're passionate, everybody cheers you on. Oh, you found your passion? Awesome. Follow your passion. Live with passion. Be passionate. Chase your passion. When you're obsessed, they're like, why you gotta be so crazy?
You're not trying hard enough. Turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. I'm saying listen to the truth. The truth is in this other part of your brain saying, look, man, you're wasting a bunch of percentage here. We have 80 more percent that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80%,
is it just a game? Or do you eat it? Do you sleep it? Do you drink it? Have you possessed the game? I ain't about to miss this opportunity. I'm about to get everything I got. And I will know if I don't get another gig, it won't have anything to do with the fact that I didn't put everything on the field.
I'm trying to tell you, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how big the giant is, you can win. I want you to go in confidence that you've never had before. And every giant in your life, slay him. You go back and slay him. Don't kill him, slay him.
Listen to me. Most people give up when they're tired, but a disciplined person gives up when they're done. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your outcomes. Either suffer the price of discipline or suffer the price of regret. Inspiration gets you going, but it's discipline that keeps you growing.
Lay a disciplinary structure on yourself. Get the chaos in check. And then you can move towards a state that's freer, because it's discipline first. Like, look, if you're going to become a concert pianist, there's going to be several thousand hours of extraordinarily disciplined practice. That's the imposition of order on your potential, let's say. But what comes out of that is a much grander freedom.
What is preventing most people from moving in the direction that they want to move is a lack of discipline. And no one wants to hear that answer. It's the harshest answer. Yeah. It's not cool. It's not good clickbait. The reason it's not good clickbait is because, well, you can put this as clickbait. The one reason most people don't succeed, right? But then as soon as you click on that clickbait and then it says discipline, they don't even read it because they don't want to hear it. This is what they actually, when they see that word discipline, it's actually a slap in the face because they know it's true. Right? If you want to make progress in your life, you got to have discipline. Mm-hmm. That's how you get there. Discipline is the root of all good qualities.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. So the key to your life is finding a vision that imposes discipline on you.
Now, one thing I want to straighten out, big time. Discipline is not punishment. It's not. Discipline is training. That's all it is. If you change your mind, your mindset, and really focus it on what discipline really is, you start to welcome discipline. You welcome self-discipline into your life.
Here's the clue. Make rest a necessity, not an objective. The objective of life is not to rest. The objective of life is to act. Think of more disciplines. Think of more ways and means in which to use your own wisdom and your own philosophy. And use your own attitude, your own faith, your own courage, your own commitment, your own desires, your own excitement. Invest it in discipline so that it's not wasted. Smallest of disciplines. Thereby transform. Join the 5%, join the 10%, join the 2%.
If you don't do that, if you get up and you just have no discipline whatsoever, you get no value in anything. Your diets don't work when you don't do them. Exercise doesn't work when you don't do them. But most of the people have some experiences that they want to shift. And once you shift those things, your whole life changes. But life is constant growth. My life isn't here because I went to one seminar one time and now my life is fit for life. I work out, I train my mind, I train my body, and it becomes a lifestyle.
Change is inevitable. So here's what's going to happen. No matter what's going on in your life, it's not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it. So if you keep waiting around, you're going to have to react to the change. And now you're behind. But if you participate in the change, if you know the job you have is not going to last forever. I'm just telling you. COVID proved that already. So what you got to start doing is you got to start anticipating that it's going to change and just start living your life with the preparation for change. No matter what you're doing, you could be doing more. Remember that. It's 24 hours in a day. You got to use as many of those hours to prepare stability for yourself as you can. If you have any dreams of being rich, you cannot sleep 8 hours a day. It's only 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 8 hours, that's a third of your life. How can you cannot be asleep a third of your life and become successful. You can't.
You know, we kind of have this idea that you have a certain delightful, wonderful, positive freedom as a child, and then that's given up as you approach adulthood. But the truth of the matter is that you have a lot of potential as a child, but none of that is capable of manifesting itself as freedom before you become disciplined. And discipline is a matter of the imposition of order, and the order is necessary, especially for people who are hopeless and nihilistic. And lots of people are hopeless and nihilistic. Way more people than you think. And part of that is because no one's ever really encouraged them.
I do think that and it's not just in sport, but with other things, I do believe that the more you repeat certain things, whether it is writing, working on your, whether it's cursive letters or whatever it is, like when you work on something and you keep doing it over and over, it's inevitable that it will get better. And by that, you're creating this feeling of repetition, which leads to discipline. Like, you can do it over and over again.
If discipline comes from somewhere else, it's very, very hard to remain consistent because you tend to resist. It's wild because I see trainers and they're in the gym with people and the guy or girl that they're working out hates their workout, hates it because the discipline is coming from somewhere else. It's something that you dread every time you go in. You don't really want to do it. it's like, but oh no, my trainer's here. He's about to, beat me up and make me feel crazy. Well, the truth is, every trainer should work his way out of your life. So you can go ahead, do your own workout, do your own thing, practice self-discipline.
Resilience is very different than being numb. Resilience means you experience, you feel, you fail, you hurt, but you keep going. When we are hit by a crisis, people that just kind of go numb, which basically means that I feel nothing, I'm not learning, I'm kind of like not even living, and that makes us a victim. When we go through the crisis, we don't go for numbness, we go for resilience, and resilience is alive, it is learning, and what happens is resilience makes us victorious. It's that resilience and remembering that you put in your heart, you store it in your heart. So the next time you have an obstacle, a difficulty, an adversity in your life, that resilience remembers. Don't allow the crisis to numb you. Be alive, learn, feel, fail, learn. That's what it's all about if you want to make this difficult time a good time.
Motivation doesn't get anything done. Motivation gets you going. Discipline, commitment, strong habits is what gets things done. Motivation is just a feeling. Grounded action is what gets things done. So here's my invitation to you. The next time you feel motivated, don't do anything grand and exciting or set any lofty expectations for yourself to like stay that way or whatever the case may be. Get a pad and paper and write down 1 or 2 things that you're going to commit to doing every single day, no matter what. You're gonna use that motivation to build a machine for yourself.
Success is like a quiet daily set of tasks. Real small. It's like that quiet walk to the gym. Some empty-ass gym late at night. Over and over and over. Or as I sit there studying other great people and then comparing it with what I'm doing and looking at it. Over and over and over. Doing 20 minutes of quiet meditation a day. Over and over and over. Making the choice to eat foods that enhance my brain neurotransmitters. Over and over and over. It's a very quiet process where you're just drawing your state from within yourself, doing these like simple little tasks, but finding love in those simple little tasks. It's not this big rah-rah speech where you do this one thing and something big happens.
When we look at the leading sales professionals of the world, when we look at the best business people, we say she's gifted, she's smarter than me, she just somehow knows more than me, she's got a better education, she had an easier background, she got lucky. You've heard the cliche because it's true. The harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft. I had a burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. Sharing in my books and speaking is my oxygen, it's my DNA. 4 in the morning I get up and I'm working on my craft because I love it. I love it.
The process is just as important as the actual prize because the process is going to make you, the deeper the process, greater the reward. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. Because he loves the process.
Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it.
The 9-to-5 person, they make a sale and they're excited. When you get to my level and you get one thing, you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level. A true hunter hunts. A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. I understand it is in a process that you get better. It's in a process that don't nobody know your name, and 5 years later, you're one of the best in the world. Why? The process. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm broke. Then why do you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Because I ain't finished yet.